Good morning. So I'm up on the middle lake at the very far end, and today I'm going to be trying to tidy up this section here. So back in November I cut the overgrown hedge that was along here. I did try burning the material at the time, but it was just far too wet. So I left it a couple of months to dry out. So about February time I looked at it again, and it rained so much that all these holes that it sat in and the bonfire pile over there was all sat in about a foot of water. So we've had 3 weeks without rain now, and it's only just dried out. The bottom of that one I think is still a bit squishy. So my plan is I want to carry on cutting the hedge over there, but before I even think about that I want to get rid of this rubbish because it looks a mess. I need to cut the grass properly. People keep pulling it out, so yeah, so that's what my plan is today. I'm going to drag all that lot out of there, up over this ridge here to the bonfire pile over here. But before I have the bonfire over here, I need to do a little bit of work, because last time I had a fire over here was about 1.5 years ago, and some of the trees have grown in. So the bonfire pile's in the middle here, but that willow tree there is getting a little close on that side. That willow tree over there is getting a little close on that side, and then this one here, that branch is getting a little close as well. So I have got my brush cutter blade on the strimmer to get these little bits down off the floor, try and get some of those brambles down. So I've got access to that one, and I've got the chainsaw there to just cut those down. I'll stack them to the side, and once I've got the fire going with all the dry stuff, the green stuff should go on and burn without any problems. So yeah, I am aware that there are other places in the world that are having fires, and I know it is concerning to see a fire near trees like this, but because of the camera lens it does distort the view. There is a decent amount of space, and although I say we've had 3 weeks to dry, the ground is still moist, and that's one of the reasons why I want to get rid of this rubbish now, because I am concerned we are going into summer. It is going to be dry and the fire potential is going to be higher, so I want to get rid of the rubbish so there's nothing there to burn. So right, I'm going to get you on the stand and I'll get on with that lot. Okay, well that's the low growing stuff cleared. That's the first time I've actually properly used the brush cutter blade. It's quite interesting to see the difference between that and the strimmer. Strimmer cord sort of wraps itself around things and pulls it. So if you were to hit some of the brambles or nettles, it sort of just mulches them almost. Whereas the brush cutter blade just slices through whatever it hits. So you actually end up, it's a little bit more difficult with the brambles here. I thought it'd be really useful because it would be tougher, so you wouldn't get through the strimmer cord quite so quickly. But it sort of cuts underneath them, so they're all cut off at the base, but doesn't want to shred the mass on top. So yeah, I might have to come back over that with the strimmer as a strimmer next time. But that's got them down for now. I was looking at this tree, I'm thinking that branch there is easy enough to cut down at base level, but I really want to take that branch out up there, and that's way above my head height. So to take that out, I'm going to have to take that out at base level. I'm thinking for the third one there, I might as well take the whole thing down at base level. It's a willow, so you never kill them anyway. You can see that's a log there. It's been cut off at that end, cut off at that end, and it's still persisting trying to grow with the few roots it's put down where it's touched the floor. So yeah, I'm not going to kill this, but yeah, I'm thinking it'll just be easier if I take the whole thing down. So yeah, I'll put you on a stand here and we'll get on with that. Well, that's opened up a lot more space. Yeah, didn't look as big when it was up, right? Oh well. Right, so I'm going to cut that up into smaller pieces and move it over into this corner here, I think, so I don't have to move it too far. Yeah, okay. Okay, so that's the stuff there, all cut up, ready to go on the bonfire. Once I've burnt the stuff from over there, it should be hot enough, and although it's green, that will then burn without smoking. I cut a little bit more off the willows than I wanted to over here, so I'm not going to cut the ones on that side. I'm just going to shift the bonfire pile over. It would be nice to take some more of these willows down, because to be honest, a lot of them are splitting, falling and look awful, and it would give space for some of the nicer trees that we've got in here. But that's not the task for today. The task for today is to tidy over there. So yeah, I've got a couple of volunteers coming up to give me a hand with the fire, but they don't like to be on camera. So what I'll do is I will show you after we've lit the fire, well, after we've had the fire, what it looks like after that. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I'm back. It is the end of the next day now. I've managed to clear all the branches from along here. The leaves I'm just going to leave to rot down. The larger logs I'll be taking home at some point for firewood, and I will be getting the grass trimmed at some point, but unfortunately there's fishermen at the moment, so I can't do that today. So all the materials have come down here, they've been taken up over this bank here. We had a good fire. We lit the fire about 11:30, and we constantly added stuff onto it until about 4:30, then just let it die down so it's safe overnight. And as you can see, we've got a massive pile of ash. That's actually really hot underneath there because there's still embers underneath there. It'll probably be hot for another week. Unfortunately we didn't get everything burnt, so we've still got this piece here and the green stuff over there. Plan was whatever I didn't burn yesterday I could burn today, but unfortunately the farmer that owns the field just the other side of this hedge decided he'd cut the grass for hay, and that needs to be laid out in the sun for about 3 or 4 days to actually dry out. And the last thing I want to do is have a stray ember from here go over the hedge and set fire to his field. I mean, likelihood very low, but I just don't want to risk it. So hopefully, because it's only taken them about 2 days recently because the sun is incredibly hot, that will be baled by Friday and I can burn the last of this. But if not, that stuff's dry, I should be able to get a decent fire going with that, and then I can burn the green stuff. If not, I can do the same as before and just leave it piled up here, and now it's dry out, and have it set as a bonfire pile when I'm ready. So now that lot's tidy, once I'm back on top of it, trimming the grass and everything like that, I will be carrying on with the overgrown hedge. I don't know when that's going to be, because like I say, weather's been very good for grass recently. It just keeps growing. There's all sorts of stuff to do, but that is coming up, and you never know, in the future I might also be able to carry on down this way and get rid of like these willows that have fallen down. To be honest, that's a good week or so of just cutting and clearing that to get rid of the rubbish from in there. So, but that is for a future video. So yes, I shall leave it here, and I'll see you later.